Welcome back to The Prosperous Feminine. I'm Julie Steelman, and I love this topic. I haven't shared a lot about it, but I want to start talking about it more. It's something that has given me financial confidence that's reduced money stress. And that's about how to have cash flow for life. The feminine way to never worry about money again. Can you imagine getting paid every single month and your needs are met? I think that's a very powerful intention for us to have. Okay. Let's be honest. We're scared, right? Women are scared right now. What's going on in the world is just really unfathomable, and business is down, especially for many that are not household names. The economy feels really uncertain and shaky. And the question that keeps so many women awake that I'm talking to is, will I outlive my money, or will my money support the lifestyle I want to have for the rest of my days, right? That's really real. And I want to lean into this because you're not alone in this. So many women say this, but it's a silent conversation or it's in a private coaching session that I hear it. Okay. And there is another way. I want you to really understand there is another way because I'm living it. Okay. And I want you to live it too. And that's a feminine way. And I want you to listen to the next thing I'm going to say to you, which is a way to create cash flow for life, a feminine way to create cash flow for life. So you never again have to trade your freedom for survival. Let's say that again. There's a feminine way to create cash flow for life. So you never again have to trade your freedom for survival. Yeah. Let's let that be the sacred arc upon which we go forward with our relationship with money, wealth, and prosperity. And my turning point with this came when I left corporate because I had one clear objective and I never wanted to work for someone else again. I had finally tasted freedom and I wanted to fund my dreams, my visions, my passions. And the way to ensure that wasn't about hustling harder, even though I wasn't done and I still wanted to give and have a business. It was about making smart money moves and investments that would cover my bills for the rest of my life and fund my passions, right? So I hired a fiduciary because I didn't want to rely on the economy staying stable or my investments being the only thing that I had, right? And here's the difference. I want to teach you here for a second and give you a really hot tip about this. A stockbroker makes commissions off the trades they recommend. What that means is they make money every time they get you to buy and sell stocks on the open market. Okay? So they're incentivized for you to make a lot of trades and they make commissions off of that. They're incentivized, they get paid to sell you something. Okay? A fiduciary works very differently. They're legally required to act in your best interest, not theirs. They help you make smart, aligned investments that serve your life and not just line their pockets. Okay, my objective was I don't want to work for anybody again. So my fiduciary taught me the options that it would take and what I needed to invest in them for me to have cash flow for life. And that decision gave me so much peace of mind because I knew my money was set up to flow for life and I was doing it in the safety of someone who was legally bound to serve my needs. And so I really want to leave you with you want a fiduciary, not a stockbroker. Okay. So here's the feminine shift about this is that the old model says work until you drop, save everything you can, and hope it lasts. Right. And a lot of us are running on that desperate model, that old model, just like hand them out, well, I'm okay. Well, I'm okay. Well, I'm blessed. Well, I'm not in a developing country where I don't have any food, right? And you've set yourself a super low bar. And if you really want to fulfill on your destiny, you want to invest in causes that matter to you, you want to be in generative power and have generosity, that's not going to cut it. And what it does, it sets you up for not feeling good about yourself, not having self trust and confidence. And so that becomes a soul actualization need that you actually need to fulfill. And if we as a group of women want to break out of the old narratives of the feminine that have been imposed, that have been in our DNA for decades, eons, and centuries, we got to take up the flag ourselves, right? And that's what I'm hoping that you're getting from my podcast from you. Because the feminine model says design cash flow systems that create safety, freedom, and space to live your passions now, not 30 years from now, right? It's about building rhythms of money that keep moving. So you're supported long term without being chained to hustle. It's about a smart way to monetize your wisdom. What if I told you that I could help you build your six-figure business in 5 days instead of a year, 2 years, and giving you all that space to ruminate about it and perfectionize it versus getting clients in the next 30 days, spending 5 days building your six-figure business? I got the tools. I got the wherewithal. I've got the training. We got to get you over the money hump. Then the rest of that's really easy because you'll be in the flow, right? So let's talk about some practicalities about how smart money moves create cash flow for life. Okay. The first is go out and hire a fiduciary, not a stockbroker. They're required to put your interests first, and they have to fulfill compliance laws in order to do that. They do not have ownership over your money, okay? And they can guide you in building income streams for life that are not about you working, they're about your money working for you. So ask any financial professional directly, are you a fiduciary? Okay, from now on, write that down. You're asking the question, are you a fiduciary? There's financial planners, and those are great too. However, a fiduciary is what saved my butt. And I'll be honest with you, when I got married to Regan, who's my late husband, I had money, he had money. We brought money to the table. By the hiring the fiduciary that I hired, he quadrupled our money, and I have income for life because of it. Okay. And it's a lot of money. And me working to generate that amount of money or saving to have that amount of money could never happen without the intelligence of a fiduciary showing us how to create that scenario. And I want it for you. And so if the answer to are you fiduciary is no, please keep looking. Okay. That rules out 2/3 of the people that want to play with your money. The second thing is automate monthly investing. Once you get a fiduciary, especially if you're a business owner, set up an automatic monthly transfer into a diversified mutual fund or retirement account like a SEP IRA or a solo 401k. Even 250 bucks, 500 bucks a month, 50 bucks a month grows massively over time. But more importantly, you will develop the self trust that you've actually kept in agreement with yourself to generate cash flow for life. It's the first step. All right. Please take it. Okay. The third thing is start to build these lifetime income streams and be diversified. Consider annuities. Often, after certain requirements are met or timeframes are met, they'll pay you monthly for life. And at a certain point, they become immune to taxes. It's a beautiful way to have cash flow for life, but you want a smart fiduciary who knows how to get you into the right contract. Please do not self buy this online. Okay. We need guidance. There's so many of them. There's so many financial scams. Don't get into one of those. You want someone who is properly licensed, who knows what they're talking about, okay? And this is a safety net that endures and ensures that your bills are covered no matter what. That's what we want. Okay, the fourth thing I'm going to challenge you to do is create a more than enough fund. Okay, I do believe in saving. I don't believe in saving as the only way. And beyond emergency savings, build a fund that isn't about survival, but it's about freedom. So open a high yield savings account and label it Freedom Fund. And that's where you make an agreement. You do not borrow from that fund to pay hardcore bills or an emergency medical expense. You take from that fund to fulfill the part of you that needs your visions and your dreams paid for, your passion projects. Don't make them expensive, okay? Don't use that as an excuse to go buy a program and pull from that fund. That's not what that fund is for. That fund is to fund the things that give you life, that give you life force, that bring you joy and passion. Okay. And watching money grow, and you actually even taking $5, $10 to put into a freedom fund reminds your nervous system that you're safe and you have more than enough. We need that so much right now. Okay. So I'm really working with you on the psycho-spiritual reframe around this, but also giving you some practical tips. So each of these moves is more than a financial strategy, right? It's the act of self-liberation. When you hire a fiduciary, you're saying, my future deserves protection. And yes, there is a future. When you invest monthly, you're saying, I trust myself to build wealth steadily. When you create lifetime income, you're affirming, my safety isn't negotiable. Yeah, I love that. And when you build more than enough, you're declaring I'm worthy of abundance, not just survival, and my freedom matters to me. This is what makes it feminine. It's not about numbers, it's about sovereignty. It's about the right to choose based on your terms and live as you like without bartering for freedom. So here's your action step. This week, do one thing to create your own cash flow for life. Maybe it's interviewing a fiduciary, setting up an automated transfer, or open that freedom fund. Please open that freedom fund, even if it's $1. Okay. Because financial freedom doesn't come from hoarding, it comes from smart money moves, consistent flow, and a body, your body, knowing I am safe, I'm supported, and I'm free, right? Follow me on Instagram, share this with your sisters, share this with your friends so that more women get on this path that I'm going to continually open up for you. And know this, you don't have to be in fear anymore about running out, and that you can create cash flow for life because I did, and I'm going to show you how. I'm Julie Steelman.